Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to clarify ourselves how this practice can help for us. Because when it comes to meditation, it is very important to understand by yourself how the techniques work and how you can apply it to day-to-day life and what are the benefits that you gain out of it. When it comes to our ordinary human life, we always depend on habits and patterns. It is so strong than we think. So habits, it's just not a kind of like you something just keep repeating. There is deeper current caught up in us. Each and every cell became a kind of like a prisoner. Each and every thought arises in you, kind of like a reflection on that habit. Because sometimes when you look very carefully, whatever the thoughts or the ideas come to you, not independent, it comes as a result of something. And not only that, it comes as a result of something and it's not going to be the end of that. It's going to take you to another unknown situation. So this is a kind of like the behavior we have. And when it comes to just habits, just as an example, look, sometimes some people, because of the habits, addiction, sometimes they die. And maybe as example, drugs or alcohol or cigarette. That's very common. And sometimes people die because of the drugs. And all the friends go to funeral and see the body, this dead body, their own friend used to take the drugs together and everybody know he died because of that. And then what happens? After the funeral, they go back and they take the drugs. And some people into alcohol, and by the time all their friends saw how this person had so much suffering because of this addiction, and then this person died, and after the funeral, the same group of people, the friends, they saw how their friend died, and they know how that person suffered. And but after the funeral, to just share the sadness, what they do, they go and again drink. See, that this is what you have to understand. How, from where this current come and make us blind and became so strong even to challenge for our own life. And that's just an example I mentioned from our just ordinary life. Now you can apply it to our mental habitual patterns related with the life. Unknowingly, deeply, with our bodily, verbally, mentally actions, we have repetition. So if you able to see that seeing itself become the solution to this. But mostly what we does, rather than seeing it, we just try to resist all the outside situations. But deeper underneath, that habitual pattern start to overtake with something else. We don't see that. So recognizing this is a kind of like a foundation, kind of like a first step to get out of the suffering. So when it comes to suffering, there are three kinds of suffering. One is physical suffering. From childhood to death, each and every day, we all are suffering with this physical body, with the pain. And we always have a kind of like an intention, idea to resist it. That is where the comfort comes. So when it comes to comfortable, means that it makes you more relaxed, happy, joy, because deeper underneath you have a desire to fight with this physical pain. You can't do it. There is no way that you can find a way to get out of it. But mentally, we mesmerize ourselves, believing that we can do it. You go with all the consumer product, all these comfortable things, painkillers, all this pharmaceutical product. We try to find a way. It's kind of like we try to head massage our own physical pain. But one thing is, unconditionally, if you accept that there is a physical pain, you can't change it. If you accept it, that acceptance open a door, open a path to liberate from that pain, become free from that pain. That is something. So then the suffering doesn't mean it's come from outside. So it's a kind of like understanding. If you don't have the right understanding, what will happen? You will suffer. It's kind of like when something when we try to do something, and if we fail, that means there's something wrong. Because if you find the right formula, you can make it right. That's why sometimes we are failed with some, as example, we get into some project, we fail, but sometimes you bring another advisor, another person to that, and that person able to do it. So that means that person knows something better than us. So like that in this life mechanism, we go through the suffering, struggle, pain, because we really don't know what is this life, what is the very nature, what is the very behavior of this life. Why we don't know? Because our mind caught up with some wrong informations. So what the meditation does, it slowly take out that all the wrong informations we hold it to, and it will naturally take us to the right informations. So once you're able to get the right information through practice, investigate by yourself, analyzing by yourself, and it kind of like becomes self-wisdom. So that is where you go. Once you have it, your life going to become more comfortable, even though it is more physically more painful. Sometimes mentally, you are capable to handle it. So one is physical suffering, and other one is the psychological suffering. So the psychological suffering come out of the opinions, comparisons, believing. So this kind of things every day. And sometimes we put some conditions, opinions ourselves regarding our own life. And then we suffer, not because of somebody else. Sometimes we decide ourselves, oh, I am not capable to do that. Then what happens? As a result of that, I am going to fail. So that failure, then I take it kind of like it came from outside. No, it happened because of the way you thought. Because you are the one who make that decision to fail. So like that in our life, we are the one who mostly create unnecessary pain and situations, dramas. And every day we go day and night to live with that, having an inner conversation with ourselves. And we are the one who told ourselves we are not capable. We are the one who maybe psychologically decide, oh, it's going to happen tomorrow, maybe like that. And then you experience it. And when it happens, then again, you become so worried. As example, maybe you get into a new job and you keep working, and then you decide, oh, I'm not capable for this. Maybe I get fired. And that psychological decision, tomorrow maybe when you go to the office, somebody is there and you already fired. So like that in everywhere, that this psychological suffering overtake, it's kind of like a spider web. It's everywhere and we live with it. So then you have to be very careful. Careful about your own thoughts, not about others. We are more careful about what other people do, what other people say, but we neglect our own inner conversation. Without any reasons, we are the one who take decisions regarding others' actions or the others' life. And even without any reason, we are the one who may be taking decisions regarding our own future, and we're going to experience it. When we experience it, mostly we're going to be unhappy. Why? Because that decision we took without any confidence regarding ourselves, and it mostly we take 99%. We take decision out of very negative, very painful, very unhappy environment. So then you have to be very careful. It's nothing to do with the outside people. It's nothing to do with the nature. It's nothing to do with even if there is the creator exists. It's nothing to do with that. It's really 100% your own responsibility. So then can you come to a very balanced way of thinking inside you and accepting and becoming very clear yourself regarding your own behavior, rather than putting opinions, conditions, or projecting yourself or visualizing yourself something else. Can you perform your bodily, verbally, mentally action 100% very clear for the moment? So that is where you can get out of this psychological suffering. And the most that expectations come out of very negative, underneath very negative way of thinking. We have another thing is with the psychological, that the negative expectations, that is where the fear play the bigger role. And the demons, all the demons are inside your head when you have the fear. All the universe inside your head play a bigger role. That's what called the astrology. And the demons, all the unknown people, that's where the psychic people, and all the cards, symbols, everything play a bigger role in your life. Why? Because underneath deeply you have the fear, from where that you have expectations depend on very, very negative way of thinking. So that is where we psychologically suffering. Another thing is the existence, the life itself. And we have to understand, even before we come to this world as these human beings from this form, this human life and this all the living beings suffering. And we came to this rather than accepting it. And now we thinking about to change something. No, very first level understand that this life itself suffering. Even you go to the heaven, even you go to the hell, and even you name whatever the life, the birth you want, there's nothing that you can gain that permanent happiness exists anywhere. You have to accept it. Once you accept it, all the current, the resistance, the fighting nature disappear. That itself bring the peace to you. Very basic way. Once you accept it, why you can't accept? Even though all the Buddhas came to this world and told from the beginning to now, all the enlightened masters came to this world and again remind us this world is suffering, and the body is always with the pain, and the mind, our mind play is kind of like a drama. It's a kind of like a hallucination. It's kind of like a game. And even in this entire samsaric journey, anywhere, You can find a very permanent way to live, but still we think maybe I will find something. Maybe I can do something else. We think like that. So how, from where that thought come? You have to tap into that and see why you think like that. Not only you, all living beings, the human beings thinks like that in a certain way. Why it come that way? The very reason, the very core reason for that thought is this. Not what you experience. The experiencer, perceiver, that experiencer inside have a kind of like a idea. It's kind of like a permanent. There's somebody. From that point of view, this all other struggle come. Why that we feel kind of like somebody is there? Why we feel kind of like there is experiencer? It's kind of like a permanent. The very reason it's kind of like this. So as example, this cup here, and then you hit from this, and then it break down. It's very easy to understand. Why? Because you saw this came and with the kind of like a heavy weight, and it hit, it break down. It's very, very easy to understand in simple logic. But the experiencer, the listener in this very moment, the person who watching this moment, came out of known, unknown, many reasons, and huge bunch of elements, conditions, cause behind it. As a result of that complicated foundation, we can't see how it happened. For elements, environment, the culture, traditions, believings, schooling systems, language, and all that other, the informations we gathered, and the food we ate, the water we drink, and all the other liquid we intake, all the vitamins and the multivitamins and the crazy vitamins and these brain sharp tablets, these kind of things, the weird things people do to maintain this life. As a result of that all, the experiencer arise. And when it arises, because of a lot of reasons, that because of a lot of elements, because of lot of substance, it kind of like we have feelings, it is permanent. And when you have that, that is where all this, the idea come against to go for the physical sufferings, idea come against go for the mental, the unsatisfaction or the mental suffering, and idea go against for this existence. and believing we can change. That believing and that struggle to change it itself is the suffering. So then when it comes to accept the body, and as example, that when you are go through some kind of pain, if you rather than changing it, reacting to it, if you're able to observe, you're going to learn something else about that pain, about the behavior of this body. So that is why this meditation is very important for you to learn about you, not about something. It's nothing to do with the Buddha. It's nothing to do with the all the teachings. It's nothing to do with that, this or that. It is about you. So have you ever experienced, like, when you go to get the vaccination, or maybe that you go to kind of like get a deep tissue massage, or you go to a chiropractic, get some kind of treatment. They do something when you have very painful situation. So even when you get the vaccination, sometimes they say, okay, take a deep breath and breathe out. And your pain, even though it is so hard, when you deeply breathing and breathe out, so what happening to that pain? It slowly release. And when you take a deep tissue massage, kind of like, go deeper into the massage, and sometimes they say, take a deep breath and take a deep breath out. And at the same time, that person push to the bottom of the muscles and release that. And then you get out of it. But you don't feel that much. But if you don't breathing, if you hold it tight, and it's kind of like killing. So then understand the mechanism of this body, mechanism of the behavior of the way we take the pain. So that is why the observing this inhalation, exhalation will take you to understand something regarding your own body. So if you're able to allow it to happen naturally itself, you will understand this body come to a point to settle down itself. And whatever the change come to it, it's capable to go with it, go through it. It's capable to handle it. So when the mind interferes, then what happens? It creates something else. So then can you watch without your mental interference? For that you need some practice. Why? Because from childhood to now, knowingly or unknowingly, we used to interfere always with mentally, more than the physical, with the situations. And that behavior, now when you come to observe inhalation, exhalation, that is why very crazy thoughts come without any reason. Because in day-to-day life, that's how we live. We just can't see things. We are mentally interfering and seeing. We can't hear just things. We are mentally interfering and hearing. We can't smell things. We are mentally interfering and smelling. We can't eat just things. We are mentally interfering and eating. We can't associate people. We are mentally interfering and associate. So more than the life we experience in this physical world, this mental interference became more and more and more stronger. Why? Because that is what we used to practice. That is what we used to do. So that's why we need some space for us to little bit settle down and observe. So for that, we take the best tool, that our own inhalation, exhalation. So we bring our attention to in front of our nose and upper lip area, just allow it to happen. And at the same time, when it happened, you recognize the change moment by moment. And always remember, the observer, the experiencer, the perceiver came out of all the changeable substance or all the changeable elements. And even though you experience this moment, the experiencer is not going to be permanent. But for the moment, it will experience that. And moment by moment, rather than look towards the outside objects, and little by little, deeply, thoroughly observe the behavior of the observer. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit. Your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line. Be comfortable with your posture and bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment you're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. Just recognize it. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Also may all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Tavata chamyehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhamma nudhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi Dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribunjissami idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamanchatu. Bless you.